This weekend Premier League football is back. It's been such a long wait, but it's finally back. And I'm ready for the next 9 months of ups, downs, joy, pure emotion, sadness. And when you support West Ham, there's a lot of sadness, trust me. And just overall football. I'm just happy for the next 9 months to be full of football and have something to do at the weekend. West Ham are kicking off the season with an away trip to Newcastle. So if you're making the long trip up there, I wish you a really safe journey and enjoy the day out, because it's been so long since fans have been allowed back in stadiums, and I just hope that people really enjoy the experience of being back amongst the fellow fans and cheering on the boys 100% of the time. So if you're going up north, have a safe trip. West Ham and Newcastle have two things in common. They're both arguably the teams with the biggest fan bases in the country, but they both have really shocking owners. I know West Ham have, and I will attest that they're bad, because all summer we've had a bad transfer window. And we did need depth this transfer window, as I've said before on my channel, because West Ham are competing in the Europa League and have a lot of competitions. And we can't go in the season with just one striker, i.e. Mikel Antonio, but it looks like it's going to be the case, because even if we sign anyone right now, they're probably not going to get registered in time for the game on Sunday. But anyway, these are two clubs that have a lot of pride about them, really good fan bases, really good history, some absolute legends have played for both of these clubs, but they're ran horrifically. I mean, Mike Ashley is obviously no saint, and he's not a good owner. I don't even need to go into detail about that, because this is a West Ham channel, not a Newcastle channel. But what I can tell you is that it would be nice to see both sets of fans protest together against their own owners, because Newcastle and West Ham have one thing in common. No matter who they support and what they think of each other, they both agree that they want their own respective owners out of their own respective clubs. If you ask me, Newcastle needs younger reinforcements in every single department. It's got a lot of players over the age of 30, and a lot of their depth consists of players over the age of 30. They particularly would need a lot on the striker front, because if Callum Wilson gets injured, they've got Dwight Gale and Joe Linton, but that's about it. And Joe Linton's not exactly consistent nor reliable. And Dwight Gale's somewhat reliable, but not the go-to guy. They are meant to be getting Joe Willock in for £25 million, but he's not going to be registered in time for Sunday if the transfer goes ahead. And apparently there's been some stalling with the talks, because maybe of Mike Ashley again. But overall, they need younger reinforcements at Newcastle. They need a lot more depth in the team, a lot more competition. There are a lot of players I feel in that team that play and they don't deserve to be. There's even second choice players that aren't pulling the weight. So they have a very talented starting 11, but when it comes to things like injuries and suspensions, who have they got to really fill in those gaps suitably? Nobody. Well, who does that sound like, though? West Ham. Yeah. Neither of us have a lot of good depth. And that's partly because of a lack of spending. I mean, if they get Joe Willock in, they'll have signed a permanent player, and West Ham will be the only team this transfer window thus far not to sign a player permanently. So Newcastle would have some bragging rights over us if this were the case. But Newcastle, I can see them struggling again this season for some reason. And I can tell you now, because they haven't really signed anybody. They've had a lot of time to improve the squad and haven't done it, and they need to improve in a lot of areas. Oh, and Steve Bruce is the manager who the fans don't really like, and he's about to sign a new 3-year deal. Or has he signed a new 3-year deal? Either way, it's reported that he was staying on. So, relegation fodder quite sums it up. Every time I do a Newcastle opposition uncovered, I mention Alan Saint-Maximin in there. Why? Dribbling, pace, and his acceleration are absolutely frightening. He bullies wing-backs, he bullies full-backs with his dribbling and cuts in and out of defences. He's not a goal-scoring player, and he's an occasional assister, but it's his pace that is enough to work those mechanics in the Newcastle team. He causes so many problems when he's on the pitch, and that's why he goes in opposition uncovered. Alan Saint-Maximin is so hard to close down. He terrifies defences, literally. You're going to be absolutely shocked at who I put in here next. I've decided to put in Callum Wilson. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, him. Yeah, you know. When Bournemouth went down, I thought that would be the end of Callum Wilson scoring his obligatory goal against West Ham. But no, Newcastle had to go and sign him for 20 million. And he scored on his debut against West Ham at the London Stadium last season. Yeah, had to think that one through a little bit. But look, good money, and he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League at a team of Newcastle's level. I would bet my entire life savings that he does end up scoring against West Ham. I'm not serious about that, by the way, because there's a lot in my bank, but you know what I'm saying. He's going to get an obligatory goal against West Ham, and you can bet whatever money you want on it. Callum Wilson is going to at least get 10 goals if he stays fully fit. Miguel Almiron is a player that Newcastle fans have had to wait with. I said it last season in my opposition uncovered for this game. He's a player that's had a point to prove in the Premier League. He's done so. He's got good skills, good technical ability, dribbling, and he's got a good left foot on him. He went from being written off to becoming quite an important first-team player, and it's nice when players prove people wrong. It's nice for the fans to see a player start really performing, and Miguel Almiron's done that. He really has wowed the fans on Tyneside in the last few seasons, and scored some pretty good goals as well along the way. He scored against West Ham in the away fixture in 1920 in the 2-2 draw at St James's, if I remember correctly. Who other than Andy Carroll, the West Ham striker who had some good, had some bad memories, but when you look back on it, he actually did score a lot of important goals for West Ham. But it was at Newcastle where he started and made a name for himself in the first place. He's from Gateshead, in the Newcastle area, of course. He joined Liverpool in January 2011 for then record club fee of £35 million. I don't know what Kerry Dalglish was thinking when he paid that money. He was probably on the booze and probably a bit too much famous grouse. But he flopped there, did Andy Carroll. Joined West Ham United on loan in 2012, and 1 year later he made it a permanent signing for a then club record fee of £50 million. Carroll's time at West Ham was always riddled with injuries and long spells on the sidelines. Bar one season, the 2015-16 season was when Slaven Bilic really got the best out of Carroll, and Carroll was declared by Bilic as the best aerial and heading striker in world football. He even went as far as to say that. And, you know, he was very good at heading the ball, was Andy Carroll. He even scored that beautiful overhead kick against Crystal Palace. How can I not mention that in the video? Silly James. But he was not all that consistent. Yes, he scored those important goals, but he wasn't consistent enough. He rejoined Newcastle in 2019, and recently he was released by the club. He's now a free agent. I'm going to be confident and say a 2-1 win to West Ham. I'm going to say Mikel Antonio and Said Benrahma to score the goals in each half. 2-1 win for West Ham. In a game that West Ham really have to win, because then we've got to play Leicester and then a really good Crystal Palace side. So we kind of have to beat Newcastle to get our season up and running. If you're going up north, like I said at the start of the video, have a safe trip. Don't forget, if you're watching it at home, put your laptop at the bottom of the stairs and you stand at the top, and you can feel like you're in the away end at Newcastle. Try not to get altitude sickness. Thank you very much for watching the first Opposition Uncovered of the 2021-22 season. I had to reacquaint myself as to how I do these because it's been like a few months since I did them, but I'm just getting back into the flow of things, doing my normal pre-game and post-game report stuff. So thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you all soon.